Hi, and welcome to Google Jamboard training. I'm Amy Ferrati, one of your tech specialists here at North Branford School District. I apologize for the barking dogs in the background. So today I'm going to walk you through Google Jamboard. Google Jamboard is a great interactive whiteboard. It's both a physical smartboard that I have not had the opportunity to ever try, and I wish I could. But it's also an app that we use here in North Branford. Each separate file is called a jam session, which I think is a lot of fun if you use that terminology with your students. It also allows pen functions, stickies, you can add images, and a recent update actually will allow you to add a text box now. So why should you try it? It's a collaborative space that reinforces teamwork. It's a whiteboard that would be great for you to use during distance learning. And it's also very simple. It gives you few options, which means that there's very few ways to go wrong. Just a few cautions that I want to make you aware of. It's a semi-unregulated space. So kids kind of like have to find their own way in it, but it seems to happen very naturally. There also is not a version history, which is one of my favorite features of Google because I can go back and see exactly what the students are doing. But you do not get that with Jamboard, so just be aware of that. And there's also different options for editing depending on where you're using it. If you're using it on the Chromebook, or if kids are using it on their phones, or if we're actually using a real Jamboard, which we don't have. Hopefully one day we will. Also note that only 50 people can access one jam session at a time. And the physical Jamboard and the mobile app will actually give you the best experience, but I don't think it's that different from the Chrome app. So where do we find it? You can either find it using your waffle, and you can look for the Jamboard icon, or you can go to jamboard.google.com. There are several toolbars, and here's one of those differences I was just talking about. This is the toolbar that's on the web app, and this is the toolbar that's on an Android cell phone app. So you're going to notice that they are a bit different. So if your kids are struggling and you don't quite know why they don't see what you see, just ask them what device they're using their Jamboard on. So let's take a look at a Jamboard. So here are all the different jam sessions that I have open. If you want to open up one, you just click on it, or if you want to open up a blank one, you hit the plus button and it will open up a new jam. But I'm actually going to open up the one that I did already so you guys can see some really great examples. So it's somewhat similar to also Google Slides, but Google Slides, you're inserting new slides. For a Jamboard, these are actually called frames. So you're going to see that I have 9 frames for this jam session, and I can add as many as I would like. And so here is a blank jam, and the background you can change. You can change your zoom level. You can clear the entire frame. So let's look at the backgrounds. So I have a plain background. You can also do dots. You can do lines. You can do like graph paper in 2 different colors. And then they also have a dark blue, like a nice navy, and also a black. And this could be like a nice chalkboard. So we'll start here. And so the first tool is the pen tool. And so you can click on it. You can choose your color. And again, there's not many options. You can also use your style. So this is a pen, you have a marker, you have a highlighter, and you have a brush. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the marker, and then I'm going to mark it in green. And so here I'm going to write my name, so Mrs. Ferrati. You have the eraser, so if I mess up a little bit, I can go back and change that. This just brings me back to my select tool. And then the sticky notes, and this is actually one of my favorite features of Jamboards is their sticky notes. So I can leave a note. So my favorite animal is a dog. I can change the colors and hit save. And then it will keep going. My favorite color is purple. And so maybe I'm making a frame all about Mrs. Friday. My favorite subject is science. And this is a great first day activity that you can do with your students. My favorite food is Chinese food. And yellow, and hit save. So now I'll hit cancel. So now I have all my sticky notes and I can move them wherever I would like to put them on my frame. The next is an image. So I can Google image search anything. So maybe I want to look up. So one of my favorite places to go is Disney World. So I'll do a Google image search of Disney. And so I can insert that right into my jam session, all about Mrs. Ferrari. So this is my favorite place to go. I can insert a shape. So I can maybe circle this. And then if I click on my snowman, I can duplicate it, delete it. I could change the order. So this I'm going to send to the back. So you see it's back there. I can circle it like this as well. And then this is the newest feature, which they desperately needed, is a text box. So I can insert a text box. 2 children, and I am married to Mr. Ferrari. There you go. There is my frame all about Mrs. Friday. So this is just one example of what you can do. You can insert as many frames. You can insert 20 frames and each student will have their own, and then you can share them out. So here is another activity that I did with one group. I'm asking them to insert a picture that makes you smile and then use a sticky note and tell us why. So my picture was books, and reading books make me smile because I get to forget about the real world for some time. And that's a great example of something that you can do like the first couple of days of school to get to know your kids a little bit more. So here's another great example. You can use this to graph as well. So the graph paper, obviously you can use it to make a great bar graph, a line graph, and the students can do this on their own, just using the mouse as the marker feature here. So they can also use the brush feature and just color it in. Instead of drawing the rectangles, they can do something like that. Another great one is that you can, because you can insert an image, if you have an image of any of your PDFs, you just insert it as an image. So there it is. And then you can use sticky notes and the kids can write the answers to the problems. So the first one was 67 minus 47. So that would be 19. I hit save. And then they can move them down. If you want to set them up, you can also do that as well for them. So the next one was 45 minus 36. So that answer was 9. Save. And so the kids can have fun using technology to do some of their worksheets. Another example is a to-do list. Kids can use this, especially during distance learning. So here's everything that they had to do. So they need to still start their research, their English topic, and work on their gym video. They're working on the science model. They're working on their math homework, and they're working on their Project Lead the Way project. And so when they finish things, they could just quickly move it to the done. I started the gym video, so I can move that over. And whenever they get a new assignment, just add a new one. Hit save. And so you can just drag that on there. These are really great in the science classroom. Here's a good example of a driving question board. Kids had all of these questions after they watched the initial phenomena, and then they were able to categorize them. And anytime you insert a sticky, just remember that you can always go back and change it. So the kids could write the questions on any color, but if this is for the yellow stickies, I just change it to yellow, hit save, and then I could just move it over here. Here's another example of using it in the science classroom. Here is a phenomena, and so they needed to then use these sticky notes to ask questions. How does it relate to the initial phenomena? Ask any questions they have. So another great example in the science classroom. And finally, I uploaded a food web activity. And so the kids will use one of the writing utensils here and create a food web. So zebras eat the plants, but cheetahs eat the zebras. And so the carnivore, he's going to eat the ostrich, and so they can make a food web. And when you're done with your jams, you can also download them as complete PDFs, so then you can print them out, or you can send them to students who were there that day. You can save this frame as an image, so you can put this image somewhere else. You can remove this frame if you need to, make a copy of the whole jam session. And then also the sharing features is the same as it is with any Google app. You can give them certain privileges, so editors the most, or they can just view it. They can also get temporary access where they can comment and view only, or they can make a remover or remove someone. And you can put these jam sessions right into Google Classroom just like you would assign any other product. So that's all I have for you for Jamboard for today. Let me know. Reach out if you have any questions. I hope you take this opportunity to try something new, especially in distance learning. This will be a great way to use an interactive whiteboard.